It just now went live. Well, here, then I'll start this over.
The words can be dance for our acts. The sea can be deep for our diving. Hope comes and stops us in our tracks. Bravely we prove in our striving, trudging together each day. Where there's a will, there's a way.
All right, that doesn't make much sense. That see, that thing is 47 seconds long, and I'm not even 47 seconds live yet. So, doesn't it not continue going when I go away? It did that time. All right. Something must have happened with the stream itself. So, good afternoon. Happy Labor Day. Labor. Getting the fan. You watching my kitty? That's Jax. He was all skin and bones. Now he's a fat kitty. Fat kitty, look at that poops. I don't think he knows how to take me yet. He's like, nobody messes with me like this. I don't know, well, you haven't met me yet. Start to a new week, which is good because that week kind of sucked. We're going to be in As Bill Sees It today, page 171. And I usually get started about 3-minute mark. I know you ain't working today, so a lot of people are out and about, doing their stuff. Here, let's give a 100% there. Woo! Somebody's got to do something. Whoa, wow. Yay! Happy face. Hearts. There's no negative emotions on there. Like angry face. Like angry face. All right, we're at 3-minute mark, so well, we're way past it actually. But welcome to Daily Trudge. I'm Dion. Oh, your butts ought to get here, or you're just proving other people right. Can't have that. Can't have that. All right, let's get started. Dividends and mysteries. The AA preoccupation with sobriety is sometimes misunderstood. To some, the single virtue appears to be the sole dividend of our fellowship. I'm not sure what single virtue they're talking about. We are thought to be dried up drunks who have otherwise changed little or not at all for the better. A lot of people see us this way. There's a lot of people that do in the program that do minimal work. They do just enough to be able to make it. And I'm not saying that's bad, but it's not a route that I choose to go. Um, I stand willing to do anything. I mean, I was certainly willing when I was desperate. So how about I try and bring up this willingness when I'm not desperate? When I don't even need it. When it's not even necessary. It's about going further. You know, some people are just going to see you that way. You know, you have to be okay with it. Some people, you're just not going to change their mind, but you don't know what they've been through. Okay? 10, 20 years of living with an alcoholic is going to make anybody neurotic. Okay? There are some people, even in my family, that still say things like staying on the wagon. And it's like, well, I haven't heard that in a while. Nobody's referred to me as staying on the wagon in quite some time. You know, I'm not a person. I'm not on the water wagon anymore. I I I run the carriage, man. Service work. I tend to the horses. I upkeep the carriage so that other people that come along can get on the water wagon. I don't need to be on the water wagon anymore. I got God. I got God. I don't need any more. Such a surmise widely misses the truth. Surmise meaning to judge and somebody else's judgment, or they have collected the information and found you this or found you that, right? Let's see if that's right. I got time. Let's see if that's what surmise means. I'm challenging this book a lot, and 90% of the time it's not in here. And I bet surmise is not in here. Still going. Surety, surmount, surpass, surrender, suspend. Nope, not in there. Where's my phone? Where's my phone? Meaning of surmise.
Here's the definition of surmise. Suppose that something is true without having evidence to confirm it.
I was wrong. Supposing that something is true without having evidence to confirm it. Kind of like when people talk shit. Confirm it. When somebody tells me something bad about somebody else, I confirm it. We know, so such surmise widely misses the truth. So we were wrong. That's what it means. We made a pre-assumption. We know that permanent sobriety can be attained only by the most revolutionary change in life and outlook of the individual, by a spiritual awakening that can banish the desire to drink. I have not found another way. But Dion, there's all these people out here that are staying sober. Yeah, they are. Good job. I'm happy for them. If you've decided that alcohol is no good for you, I mean, I get it, but that doesn't make you an alcoholic. Okay. And we're tired of recovery being Okay. Sobriety is not a fad for a lot of us, it's a way of life. And when you come in with your silly shit, how about you just don't drink and go live your life? What is it that's going on in your life that you feel you need to invade our space? Do you think maybe you're more than sober curious? Maybe you do have a problem. All right. See, we alcoholics, we don't just have a problem with alcohol. There's these things called the bedevilments. Okay. And the bedevilments, man. All right. Let's get to the next part. There's no 12 by 12 or big book on this one. It didn't call for it. So you are asking yourself, as all of us must, who am I? Where am I? Whence do I go? I like this line right here. The process of enlightenment is usually slow. Sometimes the process of enlightenment is a 2x4 upside the head, but it took 3 years to get there. The 2x4 was the last result of something that I wasn't listening to. I've had my first spiritual experience with my obsession being lifted was one thing, but I have had sudden and revolutionary changes in my life. They are very uncomfortable, but I do it. I do it. Right? But in the end, our seeking always brings a finding. If you're looking, but you usually are if you're doing this. Enlightenment is a process of getting rid of all the bullshit and keeping what is good and then adding on, discovering more, being more educated. There is at no point in this whole thing that I think that I got it. I may know a lot about this program and how it works, but that doesn't mean that I know it. Yes, yesterday I discovered something new, you know, that the spiritual experience written in the back is a 10th step. See, they saw that they made a mistake, so they corrected it. Even the first 100 people didn't catch the fact that the sudden revolutionary changes had to be something that happened. They didn't catch that. It wasn't until other alcoholics that came along, they're like, oh shit, that's what's going to have to happen to me. I can't make that qualification. Oh, no, you're right. We didn't mean to come across that way. See, even when we're trying to be altruistic, we can miss these things. Okay? But if we don't try, then we're not going to find our failures, and then we're never really going to grow. Then we won't grow at all. And for an alcoholic, that'll lead straight to death. These great mysteries are, after all, enshrined in complete simplicity. The willingness to grow is the essence of all spiritual development. Yeah, the willingness to grow is the essence. What's that? The basis of it, the foundation. It's what holds it together. The essence. Well, let's look in here. Let's see if essence is in here. What happens when nobody's here? I do this stuff. We got it because I got essence is not in here. Who wrote this? Okay. Because it doesn't have half the words. 90% of the words it doesn't have. So, all right. So now we'll go back to the actual reading, which is finding a reason to believe. The willingness to grow is the essence of all spiritual development, as Bill sees at page 171. A line goes from the song goes, and I look to find a reason to believe. Hey, Daryl, good to see you. Well, what we say here is when people say I'm late, we say a wizard is never late. We arrive exactly when we're supposed to. We stole it from Lord of the Rings. It's part of the Virgo Club. Glad somebody's here. I was starting to feel a little lonely. I've been keeping myself very well entertained the last 15 minutes, though. So, yeah. I'm happy to be living in a split level head. That's an old Dr. Demento song. Or it's a song from the Dr. Demento show. And I know him, and he knows me, and she knows she. Yeah, how better to see not viewed, especially this week. Man, this week has been full of worldly clamors. Yep. Telling you, if you've got a lurking notion, it's happening this year. I don't know what it is, but God's clearing the ground, man. God's been clearing the ground. Weird shit. Not weird stuff, just I call it weird because I don't quite understand. But everything's just a little off. Everything's taking like one more second. I don't know if anybody else is noticing this, but all my electronics, everything is taking one extra second. It's weird. My phone, everything's doing it. This did it. Okay. Earlier, I went live, put on the theme song. I did everything I did. Come back, says, no, you're not live yet. So I do it again. It says, okay, you're live. I come back. It's only been 10 seconds, but the song is done. See how everything's just a little off. And I see this stuff. So and when this happens, all I know is I'm going to heaven, man. I'm going. Yeah, that's kind of how it feels, Daryl. Yeah. And maybe it's because I'm sick. I don't know. But I'm not the only person to see it. So, all right. Anyway, I was not able to find a reason to believe that my life was all right, or even finding a reason to believe that I was worth doing the work for. That was the biggest thing I needed. That I was worth it. Because I wasn't going to put work into me unless I thought I was worth it. And it took me a little while. And then I realized that when I determine my worth, I sell myself very, very short. My sponsor pointed this out to me when I was younger in the program. Because I would say to her, I'm like, I don't feel like I'm worth doing this. And he would tell me, yeah, but I do, and that's what matters right now. You only God determines your worth. And right now he's saying you're worthy of my time. So I went with that. I trusted this man. One of the only people in this world I have totally trusted. And I'm glad I did. He helped me out a lot. And we never became friends. We're friendly. We see each other every now and again, give each other a hug. We catch up for about 2 minutes and then we see each other in a year. He's a good guy. Yes, he's a good guy. Right? Went through the Phoenix concept just like me. It was 20 years later, totally different. But so he got to hear stories of what it was like for me. I'm like, oh, they made you work? The old Phoenix concept said you weren't allowed to work. Literally, that was one of the rules. You weren't allowed to get a job. You had to work on yourself. So we had to find a reason. And then it says, even though my life had been saved by me coming to AA for 3 months, later I went out and drank again. Someone told me, you don't have to believe. Aren't you willing to believe that there's a reason for your life? Yeah. Now, when I meet other people like me, when there's newcomers in the room, I always say this. Welcome to the newcomers. I have a lot of respect for you walking into this room. It's not easy. So I know you're feeling shame. I know you're feeling blame. I know how guilty you feel. But know that there's a person in this group that respects the fact that you came in here and raised your hand, because I know how fucking hard that is. Do we need more willingness than that? I need to see them do more before I'm going to sponsor them. I see, I don't understand this. See, my empathy says that person's hurting. I know how that feels, and I have a solution. So I'm going to get my fucking ass up out of the chair. I'm going to walk over there. I'm going to put out my darn hand. I'm going to offer my time so this person understands that they have a reason to believe. And I may be the only person that shows this person what AA is actually about. This is why it is important that we practice these principles in all of our affairs. Yesterday, I wanted to go to the celebration of life and add more to it, and that's all I did. I felt like crap. So I kept my mask on, I walked around, I made sure the music was going, and I picked up trash. Why? Because then they could spend more time talking with each other. Right? Yeah. Yeah, Daryl, I agree, I don't think anybody comes into the program for themselves. Mm-mm. But it is always because that's why I don't like the saying you got to get sober for yourself. It's not true. It's not true. We do recovery, and we have to understand, just like there's this difference between a slip and a relapse. Oh, I relapsed. No, you didn't. You had a slip. And that means you lost nothing. Oh, you had like 3 beers last night and you're here back again. No consequences except the hangover and that you had a drink. You know what? I'm not going to be a dick about this. No. See, a slip is you went out, came right back. A relapse means you went out and we didn't see your ass again for 10 to 15 years. Okay? If you go past a week, now we're in relapse. Now we're probably in relapse. Okay? But a slip means that there was a moment in time that was beyond your human aid. That's all it was. It didn't mean you were failing the program. That isn't what that means. It doesn't mean you did a bad third step. Okay, now we're going to revisit that. We should. Why? Because we are a double down people. We knew it worked before. We're going to do it again. Okay. What happened? Oh, were we going through the fourth something step and something triggered you? It's usually when it happens. People slip during the fourth step. It's okay. I did. I did. I was dealing with something beyond my control. I went back to my sponsor. He said, it's okay. We're going to redo steps 1, 2, and 3. We did that right there. And then we went right back to my fourth step. He didn't miss a beat. The only thing that changed was my sobriety date. So what? So what? Okay. I have 8 years. Maybe you have 8 years. It ain't the same 8 years. Okay. I wasn't well enough to start sponsoring until I was about 4 years sober. I had too much going on. My PTSD and everything else, you know. Just couldn't do it. Just couldn't do it. All right. Aren't you willing to believe that there is a reason for your life, even though you may not know yourself what that reason is, or that you may not sometimes know the right way to behave? And gosh, this is where I love this portion of the program. There's nothing better in the program. There is no better high in this world than giving other people hope to live. I want to fucking cry because I feel so blessed that I get to do this. Now that's grace. That is grace, my friends. Yeah. So what are we doing here? We are giving other people a reason to live. Fuck. So don't ask why. You already know why. Joe says, I don't believe in slips. Slips happen when I fall on ice. IMO, which means, in my opinion, if I drink, a conscious decision not to be sober at the moment. It is based on it is based upon our spiritual maintenance for each day. Because it's a day at a time program. Yeah. And this is where Daryl and I are not going to agree. But I can tell you this, we're both going to do what's right for the person. All right. Now, this isn't even a disagreement, you know. And Daryl, thank you. See, the thing is if he shows you a different way of what I'm saying and it helps you, it ain't wrong. Does that make, and I hope that makes sense to other people out there. I think this is where the Daily Trudge kind of confuses people. Okay. See, here, you can vote for somebody else that I don't like, and I'll still be your friend. We don't care. We don't care. We are looking for the truth here. Okay. And if a difference of opinion will bring you the truth, I'll do it all day long. I don't mind. Right? Thank you, Daryl. I love it when people add. So I know you go to other places. Well, I'm going to tell you something. I'm not right. I'm not right all the time. But we'll get to the right thing. See? The 10th step is so beautiful. Yeah. It gives you the right to be wrong. It gives you the right to be who you are. Who you are. Okay? And Daryl and I can take a look at you. We can look into your eyeballs, into your soul, and in a matter of 2 minutes, we can tell you what's great about you. There are some people I meet, I know immediately This person is going to be a drug and alcohol counselor. This person is going to go on to do this. They're going to go do this. Because it's just plain to me. And it always happens. It's, you know what people, you know what, some people, okay. You have somebody that has a big heart and they say sorry a lot. Okay. What do we have there? Well, we're going to work on our codependency. But this person has a servant's heart. Okay. But when I hear sorry a lot, what that tells me is they had parents that didn't let them speak. They've never had a chance to fucking talk. And so if they feel like they interrupt you a little bit at all or even get in your way, you're going to get a sorry. Okay. I love these people. I do. Okay. Because if I can help them create some internal boundaries and understand that they don't need to be sorry for walking around and living, they help a ton of people. A ton. More than I do. And I know that. So I'm going to do everything I can to help them get there. It's so cool. Thank you, God. That's my job. I help people find passions. Not on Facebook, though. I think I still got 25 days on my ban. I don't even know that I'm going to go back to doing it on Facebook. This seems. Nobody's written me and said, Dion, this sucks. So, but there's also not as many people. So, like I said at the beginning of this, God's been clearing the ground. I think what he's saying is, Dion, these things are important to you, and I understand that, but we've got other shit to do. All right. When I saw how willing I was to believe there was a reason for my life, then I could start working the steps. Now, when I begin with, I am willing, I am using the key that leads to action, honesty, and an openness to a higher power moving through my life. Yep. Just be careful with utilizing willingness as a guilt trip. One thing that I have to be careful of, and the only time I really do it is during sponsorship, is determining other people's willingness. See, I give it to them. I just do it. I assume, it's not very often that I assume, but I assume because of the fact that you're in the meeting that you're there for help. Now I know most of us are, none of us come skipping. We all come crawling in, whether it was by ourselves because our partner wanted us to, maybe a judge from the nudge. I know a lot of people that stayed because of a judge from the nudge. Tomato, tomato, it's semantic. Yep, the difference is how it's viewed by that specific drunk. I'm concerned that when says they slipped, they're minimizing the importance of how dangerous it can be. Yeah, the danger of the first drink. Yes. Because what he's saying there, and it's very, very true, that a lot of times people, when they do slip or relapse, whatever we want to call it, I know we can all agree on this, they don't come back. Ever. I know, It's too bad. You know what? I'll do the other format later. I'll use Restream and we'll try that also. Will that work? Because I'll go live again today. I'm feeling a little bit better. So, yeah, I do prefer the other format also. All right, I'll try it later. It's just it costs me $20 a month, and if I could get rid of it, I would. But I think people are not liking this, and I think they prefer the other way, even if I'm just going to YouTube. So, the problem is that I have extra steps. So, but part of what I do, see, it's still meeting people where it's at, and if people are wanting the other format, then that's cool too. So, but yeah, whatever we want to call it, the danger there is you may not come back. This might be the time. That's why I don't even like to tell people to go out and try some controlled drinking anymore. No, it doesn't sit okay in my stomach. What happens if they go out and kill someone? Gosh, I feel kind of responsible. I know that's not on me. I didn't make them do anything. But suggesting something as a person of trust, I feel responsible, and I think that's right. I feel that that's right. So, so that's a good point. We don't want to minimize the dangers of going back out. Yeah. So, all right. Thank you, everybody, for being here. If you missed this one, I'll be going live again in a little bit. Oh, absolutely, Daryl. I mean, if we can't come on here and talk about opinions and things, then then we shouldn't do it. Then we should just get out of recovery, you know. But I think the best point you made was tomato is semantics. It's just words, okay? And if Daryl's way is going to help you more than mine, then I want you to take his. If mine's going to take you see, and that's what's cool about AA. It's a buffet. It is not a help. This is not a self-help program. This is a help yourself program, because you're going to have 20 solutions. So don't tell me we don't give you a choice in AA. We give more choices in AA than any other place I've ever gone. And that's what it's all about. Principles before personalities. If we can't argue and debate a little bit, we ain't never going to get to the answer. Yeah, ever. I don't do that. Nope. Maybe back in the 30s, but now, dude, if I'm going to say shit like that, I'm going to carry insurance. Because people are so happy. I love you. Sorry. Oh my gosh, I'm sorry. I love you. Peace out and have a day. Bye-bye.